What is up, everybody? Welcome to another video. This video is going to have two parts to it. The first part I filmed yesterday on the bike, talking about some different settings for the KLX and kind of some channel update stuff, which I will get into in a minute along with part later in the video. But yesterday I tried out some of the settings that were recommended from the last video, and then I had to call Dobek today because they didn't call me yesterday, and long story short, I did get some settings that they recommend. So I'm going to go ahead and test those out, and that is going to be part 2, which will be today or the next day in relation to what I filmed yesterday. So that brings me to my next point. Of course, I'm filming on my higher quality camera, Canon G7X. So what does that have to do with anything? Well, I'm going to try and start incorporating higher quality elements and content into the videos. I like filming B-roll. I want to add some drone shots because I also have a drone, and it's just more fun to be able to do stuff like that other than just having the motovlog camera. And yeah, it's just gonna add some diversity and fun to the videos, and of course we'll have the motovlog part of the video as well. And this brings me to my last point, and that is, over the next month and a half, I'm going to be revamping parts of the channel, whether that be the channel page, merchandise, etc., etc. And this, of course, is going to be in relation to higher quality content. Just trying to elevate my game whenever I can. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, get the bell on, you guys. Of course, keep up with all my motor adventures. We are actually almost to 400 subscribers, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and see if we can't beat my record for getting 100 subscribers. If I can hit 400 subscribers before this weekend, December 7th, or even get close to it, that'll be my record. It'll beat it by approximately 1 week, and my record is a month for 100 subscribers. So go hit that subscribe button, and before you know it, we'll be at 1,000. So enough of the long-winded intro. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video.
Okay, everybody, we are getting out here on the KLX before the sun sets, before it gets really cold. It was actually a nice day today, in the 50s, which is really warm compared to what we've been getting in the 30s, even the high 20s. In the morning, the roads were actually mostly ice, which was a big shock as I was pulling out of my neighborhood in my car. Let's just say 700 horsepower, and the ice is not a good recipe for traction. Ice in general is not a good recipe for traction. It would be cool to have another vehicle, do another build or something for those situations though. Definitely want to do something that I can take off-road. I already have a car that I can race with, and then I have a bike to off-road with. Now I just need something to maybe carry the bike to an off-road place, as well as a vehicle that can go off-road at those places. By vehicle, I mean automobile. It's been a good day. The ice can be fun as long as you're in a controlled environment, but when it's unexpected, that's when you gotta watch out. This temperature right here is just about perfect for the gear that I have. The wind doesn't really get through, so I stay nice and normal temperature. Another suggestion you guys had was removing the secondary throttle plate, which has come across my mind. I was just waiting for Dobek to call me, but I think I'm probably going to do that anyways. Today is Monday and they're supposed to call me, and it is now probably past 5 o'clock in their time zone, so I don't expect that I'm going to get a call from them today, so I guess I'll have to call them tomorrow. But I'm going to try your guys' suggestions first, see how they work out. I heard of the secondary throttle plate removal, but I didn't know if there was anything else necessary to do that. Gotta be careful here with how much throttle I give the KLX now anyways, because yeah, I might have already gotten into some trouble, but that's probably going to be for another video. It's just so easy to grab the throttle now, though. So I went ahead and moved up the idle switch point. I had it at 0.5 because the theory behind that was Mr. Blue and I were talking, and after you get off the throttle, Kawasaki has the bike tuned to go really lean. I figured that if I moved that down, the switch point would be a lot earlier, therefore adding more fuel for when the bike gets closer to idle after revving it. And that is also what Dobek's stock settings were for, I think their product is 2008 to 2015 KLX351 big bore. So I wanted to try that out. But the thing is, it definitely pulls hard. And it's definitely more power than I need in the city. But I just got to remember to change my mindset when I hop on the bike that I shouldn't ride it like I drive a car. That's the important thing. While I've pretty much been around cars, go-karts, all that, from a younger age, I definitely have more experience with cars than I do motorcycles. It's just too easy to crack open the throttle. It is a great day to be riding though, that's for sure. Alright, we're gonna stop by here, show the bike off to some of my friends, probably. And then we'll get back on, continue tuning the bike and seeing if we can't get any improvement. What? Alright guys, we are done there. I have the same settings, and so far everything seems good. I don't know if you could tell when I first started the ride, the bike kind of bogged out before it switched to the yellow zone, which is around 3,500. But everything seems alright so far. Right there, did my little stationary rev test, and I got the transition to the yellow zone, and it barely bogged out at all. And then when I let off the throttle, it went back down to idle, so seemed good there. The settings are pretty dialed right now. Like I said, it's close, but and yeah, we're just gonna enjoy KLX right now. Before I do any of the testing, I want to make sure that I have everything dialed in, whether that be fueling or just a little bit more brake-in. Okay everybody, welcome to day 2 of tuning. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I did end up calling Dobek myself, and long story short, they told me to take some fuel out of the green zone, which I just did, and for the short time I've been on it, less than a mile, I could tell that that made it a lot worse. And so I ended up going the other way, adding some more fuel, which seemed to help. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and go to the mall, my favorite place to ride, especially at this time of year. Lots of people, and that makes riding fun. It'd be cool if I lived in like a big college town or something where there are a bunch of people kind of walking around, but I guess Portland is somewhat a bigger one. But I am in a suburb of Portland, so I'm not really close to that action there in downtown Portland. Anyways, before we get to the mall, I'm going to go ahead and get some gas, and I'm going to continue to work with the fueling here. He told me to work on the green zone, and he told me to take fuel out. And of course, he said at a certain point, the bike isn't going to be getting enough fuel. I didn't get my answers, though, as to how they tuned the bike, whether they tuned it on the lean side or rich side, so that's why I didn't want to take any more fuel out of the green zone. But it appears that you can't really go any lower than the stock setting 5.5, because then it bogs out really badly. Okay, fueled up 1.5 gallons. So if you do the math on that, like I said last video, actually no, that was yesterday. So the fuel light came on with, I would say, probably 70 miles I ran it. So if you do the math, miles per gallon, 70 divided by 1.5, which would be the same as multiplying by 2/3. 70 divided or multiplied by 2/3 would be 140 divided by 3. So a little less than 50 miles to the gallon. Not bad, considering what I've been doing with the bike. Being that I've been having it idle for a while and kind of running it hard since I got the break-in done. So, little settings update for you guys. Green is at 6.5, yellow 3, red 5, green blue 0.5, yellow blue 4, red blue 3.5. So now that I've gathered the data that that was awful. Okay, so now that I've gathered info that taking fuel out, or adding less fuel as they say at Dobeck, makes the bike bog more, I'll go ahead and report back to them, see what they say. But while we are tuning here, let's go ahead and make a little parking garage run. Surprisingly, the mall isn't that busy. Keep it at a nice, respectable speed. Just get some good braps in. Whoa, big pop there. Uh-oh, there's security. So, like I said, adding fuel to the green zone definitely helps with the bogging off of idle. The other things I'm going to have to do are probably get that secondary throttle plate removed and change the spark plug. Make sure I'm not getting any misfires or anything. One of the last things I'm going to try is, the person at Dobeck said that I should go ahead and try and take out or add less fuel to the yellow zone. It doesn't really make sense to me, because in comparison to what they gave the bike with, it's taking out fuel. But apparently you're adding less fuel, and I guess his logic is that you can't take less fuel out than the stock map, which makes sense, but in comparison to what the stock settings they gave for, if you move the light down to 3, that's technically taking fuel out. But I guess I'll go ahead and try that and see if it affects the bike any. Wow, it's amazing how a name such as Black Friday can make them all super busy, but during the week. It's just pretty mellow, like it normally is. Okay. He said try and go lower than 2.5, so that would be 2. Seems like I'm adding a lot less fuel. The transition does feel a little bit smoother, so that's interesting. Maybe I just needed to stop being such a wuss and add less fuel. Of course, when I get the secondary throttle blade removed, I'm probably going to have to add more fuel. What are you doing? But we'll see. Well, transition definitely seems okay. Let's go ahead and continue to ride around slow speeds here before we get back on the main roads and see how the bike runs. So far that transition felt pretty good. Whoa, is that an undercover cop car? Sure look like it, although that is an old Charger for being a cop car. But police around here are always up to their tricks, as I recently saw. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna have to explain that in another video. That was a pretty smooth transition. Didn't even feel it there. Let's do the stationary rev test. See if it wants to die out or not. Kinda. The transition though from green to yellow is a lot smoother. That's for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and hop back on the main road and see how the bike handles out there. Oh yes, still pulls. Oh yeah, cool tip. Apparently wearing latex gloves under your gloves helps keep the wind off your hands. So far it seems to be working pretty well. I didn't think much of it. I'm sure it works to an extent, but for 45-degree weather, it seems to be working pretty well. Too easy. Before we end this video, let's go ahead and stop at good old Toys R Us lot. Now that there is no one here, someone is doing some airsoft practice or something. Oh wow, there's people at the Orchards lot. That's okay, we'll just go over here. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, it'll pick up the front wheel in second gear. Oh, wow. Oh, that was pretty cool. Alright, guys. I think that is going to do it for today's video. Looks like I got most of the tune worked out. Like I said, the only things that I really have left to do are new spark plug and probably that secondary throttle plate. And then, yeah, I'm interested to see how that secondary throttle plate thing works. If its intended purpose really is to make a flat torque curve, should see a nice bit of throttle response. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, share it to your friends and those who may enjoy it. And of course, smash that subscribe button. We are almost 400 subscribers. And let's go ahead and see if we can't beat my records for gaining 100 subscribers. December 7th, this Saturday. Let's see if we can hit it. So thank you guys so much for watching. And with all that being said, join the club, and I'll see you in the next one.